Principles of sports nutrition.
Let's imagine that this apple in the photo represents everything that you eat in, say, a month. So a dietary analysis looks at one slice of that apple. So it's only a fragment, but it can give us a lot of insight as to what people are eating and then shed light also on the composition of the diet and what effect it's having on their health, their performance, and their mental capacity. A dietary analysis allows us to objectively view the food base of an individual and determine whether or not the essential basic micronutrients are present in adequate to optimum quantities. You simply analyze what they actually eat. An overview of an athlete's diet is critical to enhancing his or her health and performance, especially long term. One look should give you an idea of what the client thinks a good diet is. I've had countless numbers of people tell me that they eat really well, only to discover by quick review that eating well in their books includes pizza, white flour, sugar, canned foods, milk, and all kinds of damaged, sterile, fast food. So when a person says they eat well, it is truly a subjective statement. It's a perception of what they think that means, as opposed to what it actually means. If you take the word well and elevate it to its highest possible state, then what we're talking about is consuming a diet that sustains us with all of our biological necessities. First and foremost, energy. Second, the micronutrients essential to breaking the bonds in the food, releasing them, creating ATP in the body. All of that is chemistry, and the Krebs cycle comes to mind. But the body needs essential vitamins and minerals to process fats, carbohydrates, and proteins, to convert the energy bonds stored in food into ATP, to store it inside the cell, and then to release it for muscular activity and thought. So here's the $20 million question. What do you eat? Those are the four most important words a certified sports nutrition advisor can ask. So first we take a telescopic view, like an astronomer looking at the stars through the lens of a powerful telescope. Then we dissect the diet from a microscopic point of view, like a lab technician or forensic scientist analyzing a blood sample through the lens of a microscope. You examine the diet in detail and then report your findings along with your conclusions and recommendations to your client. You simply analyze what you find objectively and then report on it. So these are the criteria that are included in your investigation. The quality and quantity of food. This includes staples, snacks, and treats, the size of individual meals, and portion control. The number of meals per day. This is referred to as food partitioning, and the number of meals you consume per day influences thermogenesis inside the body. Water ingestion in terms of quality, amount, and source. Beverages consumed. Tea, coffee. Do you add sugar or cream? Do you drink alcohol? Do you consume soft drinks? Do you drink juice? Are there consumption patterns that suggest addiction or poor habit? Then you look at the acid-alkaline ratio of the diet. Typically, conventional standards are mostly acidic, like 80% and 20% alkaline. That's way off what's considered to be ideal. It's way off the evolutionary standard. It's way off what's considered to be necessary for health and function and healing. So we want maximum 40% acid, 60% alkaline. That's ideal. Most people have it backwards. Then we look at the micronutrient density of the food, the concentration of vitamins and minerals, enzymes, fatty acids, and amino acids in the foods consumed. You might consume a lot of amino acids, but they're denatured and damaged. You look at that. Is the food live? So we look at quantity of raw food consumed versus cooked. Is the cooked food overcooked? Is it denatured? Is it hostile? Is it damaging? We look at the cooking methods. Do you steam, boil, bake, fry, poach, barbecue? You look at all of this. This is all part. It's not just what you consume. It's how you prepare and process the food and then consume it. So you might take something excellent and ideal and then destroy it and cook it incorrectly and completely ruin it. You look also at the biological value of protein and the amount of protein consumed in terms of grams per day and in terms of grams per average meal. You also look at glycemic index and the density of carbohydrate. You think of omega-6 and omega-3 fatty acid ratio profiles, the quantity of omega-3s consumed and 6s, other fats coming in the diet. Are they altered, modified, hydrogenated? Are the omega-3 fats intact? Are they preserved? Are they still functional? You look at the macronutrient percentage of the total diet in one day. That means how much protein, fat, and carbohydrate is consumed daily, number of grams. So everyone consumes food, and you can reduce it to or partition it to fats, carbs, and proteins. You look at the digital percentage and how that relates to their metabolism, genetics, and training. And finally, you ask them, do you take a protein shake, pre-workout, post-workout? What's in your shake? Do you add any powders? Do you take vitamins or minerals with your shake? That kind of thing.